Welcome back to Repo Rethink Politics, where we jump into our second half and looking at an anomaly when it comes to taxes. So, Chaz, what's your thought on that?
So here's one thing I struggle with, and not to shift gears too much, but we got to talk about the taxes.
Yeah.
Because there's two schools of thought.
Oh, boy.
Amazon and a lot of other people did zero taxes, corporations. But okay, because they didn't pay those taxes, they can hire more people, and those people, the workers, obviously will pay, will help. But obviously, the deficit has gone up. I don't know about how many wage increases you guys have seen, but I'm kind of like, if that, that kind of gotten, I don't know if I know you was on Twitter. I remember, you remember when that was trending, like, oh, fucking Trump, people,
yeah, the taxes.
Yeah, everybody had an attitude. And it's kind of like, what the fuck did you expect? So, what was just real quick? What was you guys' take? How did that impact you guys personally, if it did at all?
So, I'll start, and I really would like to hear what you got to say, E, because it affected a lot of the people up north because of the amount of taxes for like home ownership and stuff like that. I saw it, and when we had the episode that we was talking about the taxes, that's when I went over it. I went over what I should have done and what I had to prepare for. So I was in good shape.
Okay.
Because of that episode that we talked about, I went almost line by line with a lot of these changes that was going on, and I checked myself to make sure that it wouldn't affect me in so many different ways, and I was just prepared because I didn't trust them. It sounded like it was good. The company gave us a little better raise that year. It increased a couple of other people's wages because of that. But in the end, they still affected, the way your taxes were being taken care of. So I sort of prepared for it. What about you, E?
Yeah. Well, I didn't. So, you know what I mean? So I'm pretty much like the majority of the country that had to deal with having to owe. So I'm probably in a unique situation because I'd had to fill out, electronically, but 4 different returns from Virginia to New York to Jersey.
Damn.
What was the other one?
Maryland.
Jersey, no. It might have been Maryland. I don't know why it would be Maryland. I forget what it was, but it was 4. Okay. It was 4 different states. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, so it's 4 states and federal. But anyway, put my business out. So so the federal, I definitely had to owe. At the end, I didn't really realize what you knew, Mike, about having to change your withholdings.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Republicans didn't tell anybody, really.
Nope.
The information was out there, but if you're going to make that kind of a drastic change, you would probably want to have a huge campaign about, adjust your withholdings for like a year so that everyone is good by the time everything is in full effect. But they just kind of secretly bowed out, or, like Paul Ryan did or whatever. But
yep. He did.
So
like a motherfucker.
So no one really knew. So everybody's kind of fucked. And I wish the news would talk a little bit more about it, because I was one of the few. I'm not the few. I was part of the majority that had to owe. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it wasn't a small, the payment that we had to make too. I'm talking like in a couple thousands, like with these refunds. Granted, we get more in our wages, but we end up owing more at the end. So that's where I was at.
Yeah,
what about you, Chaz?
And that's I'm sorry, Chaz, but that's where I saw a potential that was coming, especially people who own homes, and especially when they said this is how much is going to be taken out of your pay. One of the adjustments that I did was I adjusted my 401k higher, so it took away some tax burden in that way too. So I tried to do multiple things, even though I wasn't exactly sure it'll hit me in a bad way, but I made sure that I was kind of preparing on that, because I kind of read through it. you know when you don't trust people when they say they're gonna give you something for free, I'm always kind of like free is gonna cost you some way down the line. So I just kind of prepared on that. So I just wanted to inject that in. That one of the things I did do was flip some more money into my 401k to kind of hide that tax burden as well. And that worked out because it's kind of bigger too. But what about you, Chaz?
It I'm not 100% sure because I was looking at my what's the name. I'm like, wait a minute, it was one of those things where it's anecdotal because I had made less. You know what I'm saying? And just due to um, unexpected layoff and another job. You know, it was just kind of like 2018 was just one of those crazy kind of years. So like, oh man, I made less. Okay, cool. Well, should I be making? Should I have a bigger refund? And I was like, nope. So I was like, well, damn.
So
So
so you
you know
didn't
what I mean?
see anything that would have made you feel like, Jesus, this is fucked up. What happened with the tax changes? You just knew that you was transitioning throughout the year, that you took what it was basically.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? I was just kind of like, well, if this impacted me like this, then how did this impact others? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of my people that I know, it affected them and they started owing, and I was kind of like, wow, you owe? Yeah, man, I don't know what the fuck happened with these taxes. And they never asked me, so I never said, it didn't affect me. I just said, oh, man, that's fucked up. So I just left it alone. But the thing is, I was hearing too many people who didn't look at where they were. And there's a couple of people, and, we was talking about this too, Chaz, that people put these additional not deductions, like, me and two other people until the end of the year so they won't have that much out. But then they didn't realize I got 3 exemptions, and then at the end of the year you got to pay for the motherfuckers because
Hmm.
you don't actually have them. This year it hurt them a lot more than it did in the previous years.
I mean, yeah. So I'm just kind of like, just from a level of you got these Dems just running around on their talking points. It's kind of like, is that not, you don't want to make that an issue. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It just becomes you try to fight being cynical, but I was like, man, is it not? I mean, okay, Amazon pays zero taxes,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like they could be a potential employer. In fact, I got the Amazon Web Services certification, so I know the technology. But I'm just saying, just from I pay more taxes than Amazon. How?
How do they pay no taxes? What is that? Is it like it evens out where they just don't pay anything,
Uh,
or
I just saw the headlines, so I probably can't speak to it
I
um,
believe it.
intelligently, but yeah, I just think based on the windfall or something like I don't know, but just based on the headline I saw, it was like it was being very tongue in cheek. You know how the media does.
Yeah.
Guess what? And Amazon and so and so. You probably pay more taxes to these companies. That's like the little headline on the. I saw it on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I was,
that's why. What's her name? The AOC was like against them coming to New York because
Yeah.
they weren't even trying to help the community. They were just trying to
I
set up
mean,
shop. You know?
but it's kind of like yeah, it's everybody else being suckers, so it's kind of like, well, shit, they're probably gonna be some suckers too.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I don't know. It's all it's a if you're gonna let me sell it for 10 when I got it for 5, I'm going to.
I'm gonna go for that shit, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
like, bro, we know where you got it. Shit, I will give New York credit for that. Like fuck out of here.
But see,
That
that's
was
the
some gangster
reason.
shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's the reason why Trump doesn't want to show his taxes for the last couple of years, because it's probably going to show that he either got money from income from somewhere he shouldn't have got it from, or he just
Yeah.
didn't pay taxes at all. And they're gonna be like, "How the fuck you a billionaire and you don't pay taxes.
Nah. How the fuck you president? You know what I'm saying?
No,
It's
they ain't
just-
even gonna ask that because that's the same people who just
He
got
ain't
33%.
no billionaire.
You know,
He ain't no billionaire though.
no, he ain't.
But-
You know, you got Deutsche Bank giving him goddamn loans for millions of dollars, knowing that he's defaulting on everything that he has. But they was kind of like, yeah, we'll give it to him. And they was like, well, we subpoenaed in your ass. They said, could you give us a courtesy subpoena? We're not going to give it willingly, but just send us a subpoena so we don't look like we just did it willingly. He said, you bitches.
Yeah, you know, so it's just one of those things to where, this is I would argue this has been happening for the last 10 years to where, what institutions can you trust? So, you know, organized religion, questionable. You know, all these mega churches. You can't trust sports.
No.
You know, NCAA is corrupt.
Yep.
You know
The
what I'm
NFL
saying?
is corrupt.
It's just, NFL, you know,
There's some nonprofits you can trust a little bit.
but you know what I'm saying. Even where was it? The veteran one. It was
The
that
VA?
one veteran one. The big one, Wounded Warriors. They were found out to be corrupt. So it's just kind of like you kind of just. I mean, that's John Oliver. John Oliver even talked about the fucking WWE.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Did you
wait
saw
a
that
minute.
one? That shit was crazy as hell.
Vince McMahon ain't shit.
These
Like,
people
I
were
thought- I know he's a
dying.
character,
They're dying.
but it's just kind of like, because we all know about. I remember Chris Benoit a couple like years ago, and but I was like, I thought maybe these people didn't manage their money. But you mean to tell me he's just occupational hazard
Yeah.
because they don't have health care?
Yep.
So
and then they got to
and
work.
And the one he did about mobile homes.
Yep.
I was like, are you shitting me? Warren Buffett and them, or at least his company. It's just kind of like everybody, you know, it's fuck you, pay me.
Yep.
Like I did I talk about this last time?
What's that?
I don't think I did, but the idea of like American like tipping, like I'm so mixed about the idea of tipping because if I go to a restaurant, you know, you're supposed to tip, but basically a restaurant is telling you we're not gonna pay these people, so you gotta help us pay them.
Yeah.
But we don't do that for teachers. We don't do that for people who work minimum wage. So why is it that? But then anything you go to, because I'm dumb. Like I didn't realize you're supposed to leave a tip for maids for hotels. I thought that was like just part of it. So I'm like,
I don't do
okay,
that shit.
Are you?
yeah. Apparently, depending
No,
on the
don't.
hotel, yeah, that's like a
Hell
thing.
no.
So
when I'm
you-
leaving, you fixing it for the next person, dude. You ain't fixing it. Fuck out of here.
I mean, that must be from the South or something.
No. Look up room service and tipping. So, but
Well, that's different, but that's another conversation.
But anyway, but my point is kind of like all through society, tip me, you know, pay me. It's just kind of like you get so beat down with the lack of, you know what I'm saying, for the lack of, do this shit,
empathy,
food,
and you know,
like you can't trust food. Food, like, did you see an article about baby food today or recently?
No.
Shit, I gotta go find it. Apparently, baby food is fucked up. So it's just kind of, it's just one of those things. Like, what can you trust for a long period of time? Like, who's your Chick-fil-A? I'll give Chick-fil-A credit because they're consistent.
man,
That's
all
why-
that
that's
shit
why I
ain't
love LeBron
ain't
James.
meat. Come on now.
But you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like, I mean, who is consistently not fucked up?
Man. Well,
It's
Chick-fil-A don't like gay people though. You know that, right?
But I'm willing to take that because
you're homophobic. Oh.
nah, I had enough gay people be like, "Hey, I don't give a
Bullshit.
shit, whatever." You know what I'm saying? But you get my point. I'm being tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, like I guess a high level with everything, all the politics.
Mm-hmm.
Who is not gonna fuck me over? Like I went to a networking thing yesterday, and the guy had a funny joke. It was basically like Hollywood. It was like a film industry thing. He was like, Hollywood is like the only place you get fucked for free. He made me laugh. It's kind of like, well, yeah.
Right.
At least every other places you get fucked, maybe you get paid a little bit more money, but I don't know. It's just one of those things. Like, is how can I not be cynical?
But we in that time and era, which we either need to clean up, because if we don't clean it up, it's just going to continue on, and then
Yeah.
it's just going to be a bad society we live in because it's going to be
because
expected.
it's housing. It's just like who the fuck can who can afford this shit? You know what I'm saying? Who can afford, you know what I'm saying? Like Whole Foods. I get why they're so expensive, but what the fuck is in the other food that I'm eating? What's in a regular grocery store? So, you know, looking at
Yep.
the ingredients, like, what the fuck?
And-
You know,
and you got
what
the-
is the FDA?
You got the
FDA,
yeah, the FDA, but the FDA is being cut.
but
they're-
EPA ain't shit.
Yeah, so all of that is being cut
DOJ
because
ain't shit.
he's doing it to say,
Department of
look,
Education ain't
I'm
shit.
cutting these people down because I'm going to help my, millionaire, billionaire friends. So I'm gonna put regulating people in there that wants to get rid of these agencies. But what's happening is the environment's getting fucked up, your food is getting fucked up, your roads are getting fucked up, planes are crashing out of the goddamn sky. Boeing is like, that's not my fault, and then they was like, oops. And come on, man.
You know what I'm saying?
They buddy with the FAA. That's a whole.
Yeah, so it's kind of like
That's what
they're
it is.
basically self-regulating. So if there's no audit piece, it's like, you find shit out because of audits.
Yeah.
Well, see what the problem is you got these million. See, it's not just millionaires. It's these companies. They just have too much power. That's all it is. And we were having this argument about what the government should be, and I was trying to tell you guys that I feel like the government's job is to regulate. Like they need to set a standard. But the problem is they don't set any kind of standard and they don't regulate. It's almost like they handshake with that 1%.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about it. I was thinking about decency. So I'll take it even a step further from a moral level. So I think it was New Zealand. Y'all remember when the fucking guy in New Zealand or what the European country shot? It was a mass shooting.
Shot up all of them. Yeah.
Remember there was
mosque.
like, we're not gonna say that fucker's name. But here in the United States,
New Zealand,
we flash their face. Like if I have delusions of grandeur, and I want my little, I'm gonna show them. They're gonna know my name. I have that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do some heinous shit. I'm gonna get my wish.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like
Because you live in America.
Yeah, so it's kind of like in America, you profit off blood, you profit off tears, you profit off exploitation,
Chaos,
and it's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you really give a fuck about immigrants, or you just want to show kids? Do you want to just have a headline saying kids in cages? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like,
and it was catchy. It's like the K and the C kind of just rolled
together.
together.
Yeah, the
kids in cages.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm just kind of like, it's just where it's not even about regulation. It is about it, but also decency. Have you no decency?
Have you no decency, sir?
Yeah, and it's just kind of like, I don't know.
But again, what E is saying, I agree with that, because if you don't have an audit process in anything that you do, things are going to break.
Yeah,
People
it's going to go.
die.
You need checks and balances, period.
Checks and balances. And we can't even have that in our government with the executive branch, the judicial, and the fucking legislative. We're not even doing checks and balances there. Because he's trying to change the judiciary to say cater to the executive.
Good job, though. The Republicans got a lot of judges in, so it's kind of like checkmate.
But that's why they're tolerating this guy, because he's giving them these wins, even though he's breaking everything else. They're trying to put in, and then the abortion issue is going to come in. You see the two states that says Texas want to
Bro, they want to kill.
They want to kill women.
They want to do a
They
death
want to
penalty.
fucking kill women.
Death penalty.
Are you kidding me?
It's like, why is this an issue in 2019?
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't imagine, like, God forbid a loved one, a woman in the family gets assaulted, gets impregnated, and like, you're gonna force the woman to have nah, that's not happening.
But
no.
But Roe versus Wade gives them the right. But with these judges that's on right now that says, well, right to life,
that makes
I
no
don't
sense.
believe
So you're
in
gonna
that.
tell me if one of their daughters or something got assaulted, got impregnated by the attacker, they're gonna keep the kid?
So that never becomes an issue until it happens. Remember, like you said, until it happens and the draft is over, that's when I care about it. That's how they think about it. Until it actually happens to me, it won't happen to me. It won't happen to my family. I was like, are you fucking crazy?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Or complications. Oh,
Yeah.
miss, if you have this baby,
Yeah.
there's an 80% chance you won't live.
Yeah. Then you're
You
going
know
to
what I'm
say,
saying?
well, let the child live and let my daughter or my wife or my
You know what I'm
mother or my,
saying?
yeah,
And it's
just
just
let them
such a
die.
blatant. I mean, there's men making the rules, obviously.
Yeah. It's
And it's
hypocritical,
just,
you know.
it's just. But again, that's my point about the South. It's just that's a perfect example about if I'm in the South, I'm gonna do what I can do for my little city area, like Austin, maybe Houston. But as a state, I'm done. From a state level, like Beto didn't win. He fucking Ted Cruz. Like, are you
The
serious?
vampire. Yeah.
Are you like he? Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's
So,
like I don't know. There's again decency. So it's kind of like me to telling me you want to stay in politics for 4 years. Politics is becoming a lot like Hollywood.
hmm,
Like the same, like only at a certain amount of time, there's about X amount of people working famous for a generation or two,
right.
and then you know what I mean. So it's kind of like you're gonna see like the same people over and over. And just like in Hollywood, there's probably a little bit of sexual assault and corruption involved. There's a lot of parallels now that I think
Damn.
about it. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, dude.
So I
So,
don't know.
so opinion wise, so do you think, based on Trump, now that we have all of these new Democrats in, do you think that's the progressive change that's going to happen in 22, in 2020, or is it just the flavor of the month that these people jumped in now and it won't continue?
I mean, I think it's going to be the Democrats' flavor of the month. You know, checking the pulse of the voters. What do they like right now? And like they're just kind of more reactive right now. So I don't. It's like what Chad's been saying. It's just you just don't
But
have kind of a feel of what it really is yet.
Mike, I want to ask about Al Franken now.
Mm-hmm.
Would you take him back,
Hell
or
yeah.
is it about the principle?
No, it's about the actual, because he was legislating, dude. He was a good advocate for so many things. He was a good voice for so many things.
Would you not want him to be a voice,
Yeah, I
or do you
would.
say, you know what, he's fucked up, he gotta go?
So he's gone, right? But if he ran again and the
Uh-huh.
people voted him in, they can't do shit about it. You know what I'm saying? They can't. It's who's ever voted in. It has nothing to do with, you can't kick them out again. You know what I'm
Do
saying?
shit.
I'm like, yo, that's double jeopardy, bitch. You know, I'm not gonna resign. Unless you say something crazy, I'm not going nowhere.
Yeah, Al Franken. Yeah, I was just saying from a perspective of the voices, because I do want to circle back to the idea of um, having these people um, like the new AOC in them. Obviously, they're important, but the Senate is important. So it just
Right.
takes time for them to matriculate into the system. So I'm kind of, I guess what I'm saying is kind of like just keeping a whole sports analogy. If I want to see the Lakers do good or whatever team do good, of course they get free agents, they draft, but they have to continue to do that. So we just had a good draft. Democrats had a good draft this year.
Mm-hmm.
The next year they need a good draft, but they need a free agent. So like the Senate to me is kind of like, all right, you need your big fish. You need somebody to jump in there. Governors. So you need like those key people.
So
So
what I'm
go ahead.
saying, so maybe you can answer it, because what I'm saying is, even though we got it this time, do you think it's a thing that's going to continue in the
Oh, I see
2020,
what you're saying.
or is it
Oh,
because they was angry at that time and everybody put the effort in? Because I don't
okay.
feel the grassroots uproar like it was with this last election.
Okay, you're saying like the never Trump and all that.
Yeah.
Will that momentum continue? That's a great question. I don't know, because I would say it depends on the state.
Gotcha.
So in Georgia, I think there's a lot of people who are still they feel a way about Stacey. Stacey Abrams, and I think people will be willing to show up. But again, but if I can just take a step back, I missed two elections. There was like two little local things, and it was like 7-7. I'm terrible at getting up early. And then just getting off work. Like if there's a networking event. I go to these events a lot. I'm probably gonna miss it. So even the opportunity to vote, to make those little iterative changes,
Right.
so it can vote online, and it's still 7-7.
Yep.
So 7 is pretty. Like, imagine if the grocery store closed at 7.
Oh, you'd be fucked. That means you could
You know
be
what I'm
shopping
saying?
in the middle of the day.
So I'm just kind of like, why? In order to make the change we're talking about, how we still don't have the process and the tools to do it.
So I'm hoping it's going to be a Senate change, because I think we can do a lot of congressional, because back to your point, congressional is very local. That's local. You know what I'm saying? The Senate is a lot bigger, and you're going to have a combination of people to get your senator in.
Yeah.
So, but I do agree with you that it's really local for these congressional seats, and it depends on the state, because some of the states is like, man, I'll never vote for fucking Democrat. Some of them states are just like that, regardless of who's going there speaking for, whatever thing. They're just not going to do it. That's where that 33% is never going to damn change. But we had opportunities that we can take over certain states, more congressional, but we need to turn the Senate, because that means what you start there can finish in the other one. And remember, impeachment is 3/4 of the Senate. It's 3/4 of the Senate.
Yeah, I mean,
So you got to have 25% Republicans to agree with that.
let's be honest though. Mike Pence is better.
No,
So
but he's better because he's at least a politician. I don't think he's a ruthless, and maybe he haven't had the opportunity to be ruthless.
He's too much of an unknown for me. I don't know.
And which may be more dangerous,
So do I want Trump is an ass,
Right.
and on one hand, an ass is more. I can trust him to be an ass versus I can probably trust Pence to be more calculating.
But him being an ass is destroying the country.
So do you want a more calculated person or an ass?
So if he's more calculated, you know he's trying to do it in a process way, as opposed to something that's kind of saying, I'm all over the place. Putting in my buddies. Herman Cain was like, "Yo, let me take my name off of that bitch. I don't want to be involved in that. Take my name off." But he was trying to put in whoever he fucking wanted.
Okay, so hypothetically, 2020, Pence can win.
Pence can win over who?
The Republican primaries.
So you're saying if Trump was out
election.
and Pence was in?
Exactly.
No.
So
I don't think the Republicans are confident with him.
So who would beat him?
Who would beat Pence?
Pence can't win that.
I'm saying, but who would beat? So who would beat him?
Who would beat who?
Anybody?
Who would beat
Paul
who?
Ryan.
What are you talking about?
Paul Ryan. Paul Ryan. He's. I just want to slap the shit out of him sometimes. He's just.
I know, but you don't like him. But Republicans love him.
Yeah.
The voters.
So it doesn't matter what you want. You got to take in consideration, like he's saying, those voters who are Republican.
No, Paul Ryan is to me he seems elitist. So at least what I'll give credit to Trump is he quote unquote connected to the common man.
But he's an elitist.
How is he not?
Oh, he is an elitist.
But I'm saying,
but he's a common man elitist because
that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, I know it's an oxymoron. I got
I'm a low class, high class whore.
Yeah, that's it. They get thousands of dollars to lay their ass down. But
wait, who's the common man outside of Trump? What Republican is a common man? You know what I'm saying?
Quote common man.
But Republicans have different standards. It's like as long as you're a conservative and you're established and you're a white man, then you're good. Like that's what Paul Ryan is. He's got his status is based off of everything he's done in the past. He's pretty much been everything but on the president level. You know what I'm saying? So You know, and from what I always used to hear when he was running for what was he was VP or running for VP, he's just considered attractive. He did that whole P90X thing or whatever that was that they were
Oh,
talking
that
about.
shit was so embarrassing. It's
I know.
like,
I'm with you. I'm with you on that side. But I swear, you dog. On the other side, they actually like that.
Yep.
They think he's. I don't know if attractive is just the right word, but I think it's appealing. They're interested in that. Like, I actually think he and I don't know if Marco Rubio is. I keep going to him, but those kind
Marco
of faces are.
Rubio, nah, he fucked himself. I thought he was regular or normal. Motherfucker's crazy too. Or
Yeah.
no, his talking points moved crazy as the conversation got crazy.
But so was
He
Ted
didn't stand his
Cruz.
ground.
So was Ted Cruz, but he even won in his own state with him being as crazy as he is. You see what I'm saying? So it depends on, back to your point,
He scares me the most, by the way.
Chaz. Yeah, he's scary. That's a dude I don't trust.
That's an evil motherfucker.
Yeah, that's an evil motherfucker. Yeah, that's like a crept type motherfucker. You know.
So okay, would it be fair to say because I'm becoming more curious into like Sharia law and stuff because in a lot of ways the line between church and state is getting separated here in the U.S. So it's kind of like who would you think it would be like the same a Christian version of Sharia law here? Like a lot of these people when in office, Pence be like, "No woman shall." Like the things we think sounds crazy in the Middle East, they would do here in the U.S.
He would try it. If there was anybody, he's gonna try it.
Women can't sit alone. Married women can only.
Yep.
I don't know, just some sort of crazy ass law. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's Pence's style. Pence will do all that. What's that show on Hulu with the Handmaid's?
The Handmaid's Tale. Yeah, that shit.
That's him.
That's him. 150%.
That's his style. Ted Cruz would just do some fuck black people shit, like gerrymandering. They'll just keep it going. Like,
Yep. He'd be cutting the state in half and say all the Mexicans go.
Doing, but like
worse.
like,
yeah.
Smarter. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
He's
his
just
face
evil, dude.
makes me
Fucking evil
sick.
and shit. Yeah. So anywho, yeah. So I guess I don't know where everything is going. They're gonna get the unredacted Mueller report. I don't think it's gonna tell you anything more than what you've seen that was unredacted. I mean, the previous report. So we got to sit around and check that out. But I don't know, man. I think we're in a big lull period that.
Yeah.
I don't even know what's going to go on, and it's not even worth even talking about, sadly.
Yeah. Oh, wait. I got a question for you guys.
Go ahead.
When the last time y'all seen or heard from Melania?
I heard an article with her like 2 days ago. I didn't see her.
Okay.
I didn't see her. But there was an article with her doing something. I think with the veterans. Whoa.
No, that's why it just made me laugh. She was doing something?
Something, yeah. Something for the veterans, not with the veterans. I'm sorry.
Something for
that
the
did
veterans?
sound kind of fucked
I
up,
don't know.
didn't it?
This whole White House just makes me laugh. Because
And
usually
cry.
the first lady, you know what I'm saying, she be doing her thing. You see her out and about. Cool. Who's the chief of staff now?
Who the fuck is the chief?
Damn.
Dude, people been
Is there
coming
chief
and
of
going.
staff?
No, he's got somebody in a temp position. He's got temps now, so he's working with
active.
manpower. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. So I'm saying again, I
Or
guess case in
Randstad.
point,
He's working with
chief of-
Randstad. Yeah.
Yeah, so chief of staff ? It's just like what how. I remember Michelle. She was doing a thing, the kids and all
Mick
this
Mulligan.
shit. Mick. Oh, I don't. Yeah.
Acting. I know.
Yeah, everybody's acting. They temps. Temp to perm. If you do a good job. They're not even contracted. That's what's fucked up.
Bunch of actors.
Yeah, they act. All right, fellas. I really appreciate you stopping by. I don't know. Everything is just dragging right now, dude. I was really looking forward to saying, jump on this.
Nope.
And boy, were we fooled. All right, fellas. Well, I appreciate it. And see you on Monday on at least every other quarter, I guess.
Shit, man.
Nah, I just bullshit. But I appreciate you stopping by, and we'll see you next time on Repo Rethink Politics. Later.